Welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out a new TV show, new to us.
I'm excited.
It's called Discovering the British. I think this is the first season, or the first episode that ever aired.
Yeah, I had never heard of the show before, just happened to come upon it, and it just looks like it's going to be really cool.
Apparently the whole premise is basically there's more to the UK than just London, which I know everyone in the comments says, so this was fitting.
It seems like the premise is basically about British culture. The description said, "Who are we? Where do we come from? Are British values alive and well?"
London is one of the world's great tourist destinations, but if you really want to see the British at work and play, go beyond the capital to find the true heart, soul and spirit of this magical land.
So we've heard.
Yeah. The bully! I wonder if those dogs are popular over there.
Probably.
Iconic telephone booth. I have a feeling this is going to be really fun. This looks fun already, the music and everything. Yeah.
The British, 65 million of us, plus a scattered population of 140 million Brits and descendants around the world, especially in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Spain, Hong Kong, and the US.
Hong Kong, that's interesting.
We love or fondly
that kind of makes sense, though.
Double-decker buses, black cabs, real ale, Victoria Sponge, and all the icons you'd see in old school books explaining to children, you know.
I still want to check out black cabs. They're so iconic, right?
You haven't?
No, never looked at it. But I've heard that the cab test is like one of the hardest tests you can ever.
I have heard that too.
Like, because
you have to memorize all the streets, right?
I think so. You have to literally memorize every street.
Oh my goodness.
The countries, what life in Britain is like, and describing Britishness. Now the question is, do we need a refresher course ourselves?
I need a refresher course.
Oh wait, there's a call coming in. Hello, this is the Discovering the British TV show. Can I help you? What? You're about to lose your local red phone box?
Okay, hold on. That was on the outside, wasn't it?
Yeah, I realized they're all payphones probably back in the day, but yeah, it was on the outside, which was interesting.
Okay, obviously that's not the way they used to be. You would go inside this booth.
The whole point was you're protected from the weather. And
they need to bring, I don't know if these are still around or not, but if they're not, they need to bring them back.
I've heard, I would like that. I've heard they've,
they're just
iconic. Made them into other things.
Yeah,
little libraries. And
but there's just something so iconic about these things. Even before starting this journey, I want one. I do too.
I would love to have one at our house one day.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I don't know what we'd use it for, but they're so cool.
Crikey, that's not on. We need to find another use for them, like that chap in Birmingham. Very clever fellow.
A coffee shop in a telephone box.
Oh my goodness.
What's this all about?
That's cool.
I don't know. People have been asking me this all day.
I love it.
It all started when I kind of left school with just my GCSEs, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do in my life, so I just went and got a job straight away. But I knew I wanted to be self-employed.
So that's the rent.
And it kind of just went from there. I was walking through town one day. I live in the jewellery quarter. I was walking through town, saw that they were up to rent, contacted the company, and then just, went from there, called them, said, oh, what's it all about? What can I do with them? They suggested the coffee idea. And I thought that's a really good idea because I do.
That's cool.
That is cool.
So let's go from there.
And so it's your first day of opening today. How's it going?
It's been interesting. It's been no one will come, and then all of a sudden a million people will turn up at once. It's been so crazy. But I've really enjoyed it. People have really responded well to it.
And is there any other concept like this? Have you heard of any other concept like this?
There is one in Brighton. I did go down there 2 weeks ago, but he's got two. Whereas this is one. So this is officially Britain's smallest coffee shop. Officially.
Aww.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel?
Proud. Yeah, why not?
Hope he serves tea as well. Now look at this. They're taking our letterboxes hostage now. We must protect our national icons.
Those are iconic as well.
This could be a mission for 007. A good British fellow.
Have one of those on the bookshelf over here. You can't see it, but
isn't it like a coin?
You can see it right
jar?
there.
Yeah, isn't it a coin jar?
Yeah.
Sophia has one too, the M&S.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Just when I was planning on posting a letter. Mrs. Grace Wicket, Bowling Lane, umpire on grass, Middle England, Great Britain, British Isles, northwest of continental Europe, planet Earth, somewhere in space. As a child, did you ever write a very long address for yourself so that no alien from space or Santa could get confused as to where
We
you
did that
live?
in school.
You did?
How do you name your home country? The UK, Britain, Great Britain. Today's guest historian is Dr. Matt Cole. He knows where he is.
What field is this, or what
To
stadium?
be precise, we're at Edgbaston Stadium, one of the major cricket venues of our country.
I haven't heard of
We're
this
1 mile
one.
from Birmingham, a major city at the heart of the United Kingdom. But if we're going to ask ourselves where the United Kingdom ends, rather than where its heart is, where we are now, then we have to look around what we sometimes call Great Britain, we sometimes call the United Kingdom, we sometimes call England, Scotland, Wales and its other parts. And that includes not only the territories of those nations, but also the islands around it, the Isle of Man, the Channel Islands and Northern Ireland, and all of the ways in which those became part of what we call the United Kingdom. What we're trying to look for here is what unites all of those diverse and historically separate parts of the United Kingdom.
Matt Cole lectures on modern history and has written books on local history and biography. The Edgbaston Stadium was established in 1882. Nowadays the ground can hold 23,500 spectators. As we've been
Yeah,
at
that's
Edgbaston
big.
Stadium, and you may have noticed a cricket theme to this address, let's hear from two professional players of a very British game, a game that's enjoyed the hallmark of fair play since the 17th century.
When you look at a stereotypical gentleman's game of cricket back in the day, it was very much cucumber sandwiches, guys being very polite to each other on the field.
You never had a
I think
cucumber sandwich?
unfortunately,
No, but it's a popular tea time
That's true. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
snack.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's any good. I don't know if any of you eat cucumber sandwiches. I like
Isn't it
cucumbers.
like cream cheese?
Well,
on
that's
fried
true if you have more
cucumber?
stuff, but I still don't think I would like cucumber sandwich. Although the crunch might work if it's, crunchy cucumber, but I'd have to have mustard. But I don't know if
Mustard.
I don't want, you know me, I don't want
With
cream cheese.
Cucumber.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like mustard a lot though, so.
it's probably changed a little bit now because of the money in the game. If you look at it now, it's pretty much a job, and I think that puts a lot of pressure on people where
That's true.
quite a while ago it was more a
Just
hobby
fun.
and people enjoyed playing it. Obviously people still enjoy playing it now, but I just think with it being, your job, there's a lot more pressure and aspects of that on the game.
Yeah, I definitely don't think a few of the guys playing nowadays would be able to last back in the day, or vice versa. It's completely changed, isn't it?
Well, going back to the Douglas Jardine incident with the short pitch bowling and the body line, you didn't have that probably to start with when cricket first came about. So that sort of changed it a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. It's a good point.
And as a bowler, I don't think I've ever clapped anyone hitting me for four, but that used to happen quite a lot. So it's quite an interesting thing now.
You think about the amount at stake there is, the amount of money, the success, people want to win. We're competitive guys. The time and effort we put into the game as well, away from the field, that builds up. There's a lot of emotion and hard work that goes into it, and guys take it on because small margins can decide winning or losing, and when there's so much money at stake nowadays. Then people tend to overstep the mark occasionally, and I guess it's no longer seen as a sort of a jolly game of cricket nowadays. This is a real life,
High stakes.
job, and what pays the bills, I guess.
That kind of makes me think of something like back in the day when professional cricket, or honestly professional any sport, got its start. Not when the game was first invented, but like when there were professionals that did this full time. Can you imagine how much more people probably train for the game now than they did then? I bet you people did not spend as much time. They just went out there and played and had fun, even if they were professional.
It's become much more serious.
Big business now, but the game still promotes fairness. And do visit both the big stadiums and grassroots clubs to take in the atmosphere of the game. Have some tea and cake as well.
I'd love to go to the cricket
started
game.
as a children's game back in Saxon times. Games and developing rules of play surely contribute to our sense of fair play.
Blue
What
cricket
else
ball.
sums up the British way of playing the game and doing the decent thing?
I'd like to think a characteristic of the British is their sense of fair play. and of teamwork and of patriotism. And of course, those things all come across through our commitment to sport. Here we are at the Edgbaston Stadium, one of the main venues for top flight cricket since the days of W.G. Grace. Not a mile from here, the first lawn tennis game was played in Edgbaston, and its major club is still the venue for international tournaments. And of course, we have football as our national sport, and which is a representation
I didn't know that.
Of our contribution to the development of sport internationally. It's difficult in an era of professional sport. I
think that makes sense, football being the national sport, but I didn't even know there was such a thing as national sport.
If someone had asked me prior to this
rugby?
video, I don't know, I probably would have said cricket.
Cricket? I can see cricket, rugby, or football, but I didn't even know there was such a thing as national sport. I mean, do we even have a national sport here in the U.S.?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's baseball? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know.
Never thought about it.
If anyone knows, let us know, because I have no idea about that either.
And an era of international competition to maintain the British spirit of reserve, fair play and decency. But I'd like to think we do our best to lead the way on that still.
Cricket has a rule book, like many aspects of British life, but we're a flexible lot. The DNA mix that's made the British population of the 21st century has certainly given us a great sense of humour, and this will be cropping up many times in Discovering the British. Take a look at this crazy fun-packed event in Bristol, all for charity of course, and there isn't a dry eye or body in the house.
Water fight happening down here today. We are the Smile Instigation Collective, and we have organised loads of different events over Bristol that have just been designed to make people smile.
We did it last year, so it's a Smile Instigation Collective thing. We basically do various events trying to make...
A Smile Instigation Collective.
Smile Instigation.
Event. So I'm seeing like just random event, like pop-up events, probably to bring the child out of people, maybe.
This is in Bristol?
Yeah, I think that's what they said.
That's cool.
Make people smile. Oh no, I'm gonna get wet.
Ugh, I hate this thing.
Yeah, it doesn't go away for some reason. The little pause
This event is not just about soaking as many people as you can, it's all in aid of a great cause.
We're also raising money for the YMCA, which is a cafe based on Silver Street.
Huh. I didn't know they had YMCA over there.
They do a lot of work there, working with young people and volunteers, enabling them to get experience in the workplace.
I don't know if it's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't either.
Here, but...
Hello, nurse. Let me burst on this verse.
It's very 80s.
With Millennium Square filled to the brim, how many people turned up with their super soakers?
I'm not sure, it's really hard to know. On Facebook, like 3,500 people said they were coming. But
wow.
You know, with the weather, you never really know.
I think because of the weather there were 3,000 people here last year, and there's a lot less today, but it's still quite a good turnout. Everyone still seems to be having a really good time.
Yeah, that was fun.
Kids really like that.
They certainly know how to enjoy themselves in Bristol. Imagine landing at Bristol Airport for your first visit to the UK, and as you arrive in the city, straight into this water fight.
That's true.
The British
That'd be fun.
Army. But we do have our hard-working, innovative and creative talents. More about that in part 2. And to take us to the break, here's a quick quiz teaser for you. Born in 1906, Sir Alec Isigonis had a distinguished career in the British motor industry. Do you know, or can you guess, what his greatest achievement was?
All right, I'm giving anybody out there a second to guess. I obviously have no idea.
I've never heard of this guy.
Okay, does his name give away anything? What's his name? Is that...
Not to me, but
Isigonis.
Maybe to people who know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
What year was Jaguar invented? That's not like the only thing that I can think of.
Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea.
Well, here's a clue. A popular model. Think of the 50s and 60s. And
Maybe.
legend motors on.
Maybe Jaguar.
In a couple of minutes.
Oh, you're not going to give it away right now.
I doubt it.
We're discovering the British with guests and experts who will trace the story of Britain and its population over the centuries, whilst visiting some interesting places.
catchy little number.
It is.
Before the break, we had a teaser question. Here's a reminder. Born in 1906, Sir Alec Isigonis had a distinguished career in the British motor industry.
I think you might be right.
No,
what his greatest achievement
I doubt
was?
it.
And the answer? Sir Alec created the Mini.
Oh, the Mini!
That was the other car I could think
Plants in
of.
Longbridge and Cowley in 1959, it soon became an icon of British pop culture. The story of the British is told at museums and art galleries all over the UK. There are 2,500 of them, and most of them outside London.
2,500?
Also, watch out for
Museums?
living museums
Wow.
recreating village life and exhibitions.
Oh, we've been told we
There
need
was
to
a
check
fascinating
that out.
exhibition at Compton Verney in Warwickshire in 2016. It looked at British life and design in the 1950s.
Oh,
Here's
that's
Dr.
cool.
Stephen Parisien, who was the exhibition curator.
I love
to
the
describe
fashion
what
of the
this event was all
50s.
about.
I would totally love to
What we
visit that
wanted
place.
to do with this show
Love
was
the 50s.
really demolish myths about the 1950s, that it was a drab decade full of, sepia-clad people. It was full of rationing. Yes, rationing did continue to 1954, but really by the mid-50s, Britain was becoming colourful, confident, wealthier, and really importantly, design was affecting every element of British society.
Our people have never had it so
Two reasons,
good.
I think, why the 50s is so important for us. It is the decade that sets the tone for visual culture, that really creates modern Britain. But also, looking back, it was a time when British design led the world, when we exported designs from everything from swimwear to motor cars.
Look at that
partly
TV.
because the European economies were still...
I love this whole setup here.
Yeah.
It's just so amazing. I wish I could be transported back to the 50s just for a day.
At least for a while, yeah.
Just for a day. I would like to wake up, experience the Milkman, see the classic shows on a little small screen TV. Just I don't know, something about the vibe, the cars, everything about it.
In the 50s housewife life.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know if I thought
No,
that.
not you, me.
But yeah, I think there's something so cool about the 50s. I don't know.
Yeah.
Getting off their knees after the war. The American economy was still meeting domestic demand there. British design, with top-class artists and designers involved, really was a global phenomenon. One that perhaps we're trying to emulate today. The Royal Caravan was made in 1955. It was made specifically for the young Prince Charles and the young Princess Anne. It's got its original interiors restored, as I say, a few years ago. It's not the sort of thing, obviously, that the average British family could afford, but it's a wonderful look at 50s design.
Look at that car.
And is that a Mini?
Element of the very simple interior has been immaculately thought out, immaculately designed.
That is so cute.
They're very small.
One of the great delights of visiting galleries like Compton Verney in Warwickshire is that lots of British museums and galleries have great tea rooms in fine settings with scrumptious cakes to whet the appetite. There are restaurants too, often serving dishes local to the part of Britain you're visiting. Did you spot one of the original Minis at the 50s exhibition? Today's guest historian Matt Cole notes the importance of British cars.
Very much so.
Has been one of the ways in which the British have projected themselves around the world and made their mark. For example, through films. If you think all the way back to the 1930s of the brands which have appeared, which have represented Britain, Rolls-Royce, Aston Martin, Jaguar, they've demonstrated not only the industrial production, the technique, the invention of the British, but also the style, the character.
Yeah,
and the
those
design.
are pretty cars.
That's the kind of way in which in the 20th century, Britain continued to impress its character on the rest of the world.
Some more teaser questions for you now. Can you name the British cities or towns famous for these makes of cars?
No.
Jaguar, Alvis, Bristol, Austin, Jensen, and Bentley.
Do we hear a Bristol
the
there?
Bentley, like the Mini.
There's a car called a Bristol? What is that?
It looks like a type of Mini.
Wow.
But that was cool.
Here's a top drawer celebration of some stunning Bentleys from a bygone era of motoring.
We join the Buccaneer Car Rally,
goodness.
celebrating the best of the vintage Bentley.
That'd be fun.
They make their way through the countryside in their classic cars.
So of them are just over halfway now, and there's a reason why you put on this event. Tell us about it.
Yeah, these cars, they're not museum pieces. They're very, very valuable, obviously, some of them, but they need to be driven. They were made in the 20s and 30s, and in the 20s and 30s, they did thousands and thousands of miles. Obviously, it was an everyday car. I've got a different car to this, and I've driven it 11,000 miles. A 1920s Bentley, I did a rally called the Peking Paris. I drew it was China, Nepal, Tibet, India, Pakistan, Iran.
Wow.
In that car. I mean, they're meant to be driven.
Did you get what he just said?
Yeah.
He drove all that in one of these cars.
That's crazy. You wouldn't think it
Let's
could
face
go that
next
far.
challenge, the obstacle course. However, the driver this time
That reminds me of our try videos. Remember when you wore the eye mask? It was like that?
So many people thought it was like a mini bra. But it was one of those eye masks that, like, they stick out like a bug. It was like one of your eye masks.
blindfolded. Let's see how this goes.
Oh my goodness.
Woo! Go on. Get further. Okay, right. Start turning now. No, yeah, it's fine. It'll be all right. Oh, he's just hit it. Yeah, good. Excellent. Keep on going round. Okay. Right, straighten up. Right.
Gosh, there was plenty of tally-ho and chucks away with those Bentley chaps.
What does
and
tally-ho
chappesses.
mean?
Great fun, but don't try that on the public highway. Definitely not on. And the answers now to our teaser questions about the cities and towns famous for some well-known British cars. Jaguar, Coventry and Birmingham. Alvis, Coventry. Bristol, well, no prizes for guessing that it's Bristol. Austin, Birmingham and the massive Longbridge plant. Jensen, West Bromwich. And Bentley is headquartered in Crewe. And all of them should be saluted for their contribution to British design and engineering.
Those are cool cars.
They are. Well, so it seems like Birmingham
was a big hub for car production.
Yeah, there was like, wasn't it 3 out of those, I believe?
At least 3 of them.
Yeah.
Of course, here we are broadcasting on television, and television itself is one of the contributions of a British scientist, John Logie Baird, to communication. More recently, we've had Tim Berners-Lee and his role in developing the World Wide Web. But before that, the British developed transport through the great cruise liners like the Queen Mary and even the Titanic, a major feat.
That's something we need to look into, Queen Mary.
Rail system and invented rail transport. And before that, and which made all of these other things possible, the Industrial Revolution itself is Britain's gift to the world. We were the first people to develop manufacturing industry and to develop production and to use iron and to develop steel in the way that was necessary to make all of these other things.
The Industrial Revolution got a really good start.
The pioneering railway steam locomotive, named the Puffing Devil, was built in 1804.
Devil?
And the world's first steam engine journey pulled a train along rails at the Penny Darren Ironworks.
The world's first steam engine
The engine
journey.
steam is very important to the British story and the British people. Let's take a look at a giant from the history of steam.
We did quite a lot of the work here on the Scotsman, and quietly behind the scenes, a lot of the motion that you see behind me, the rods connected to the wheels, and the wheels themselves were overhauled here at Tyseley. So as a thank you, the National Railway Museum allowed us to have it for this weekend. We were very lucky because the loco was available during the same week that Birmingham Heritage Week was going on, so we were able to combine the two. Hence, we have Flying Scotsman here at Tyseley for Birmingham Heritage Week. Apart from Thomas the Tank Engine, I think it probably is the most, it's safe to say it's the world's most famous real steam locomotive. It has helped that it shares the same name as a very famous non-stop service train that runs between King's Cross and Edinburgh and back every day, and still runs to this day.
And the talent behind all these achievements and much, much more when you look at arts and crafts, agriculture, the law and 1,000 other skills is down to the British. Here's Matt Cole again with a reminder of who we are.
So who are the British? Well, the Britons are the original population of these islands, but we've added layers and layers of populations that have joined ever since, which make up the communities we now have. The Romans invaded, the Angles and Saxons, the Vikings came and brought us the town names and much of the language that we have. The Normans came, gave us part of our legal system and the land ownership system that we have. And after that, in the Industrial Revolution and afterwards, we had waves of population movement within the United Kingdom, from rural areas to urban areas. And we had refugees and immigration movements towards Britain as a result of wars, as a result of needs for population to work in the country, from various parts of Europe, from the Empire and the Commonwealth when the Empire was brought to an end, and most recently from within the European Union, where we've had a large movement of population from other member states to Britain, again for economic reasons.
And in each edition of Discovering the British, we'll be asking our guest historian to name their candidate for the Greatest Britain.
The Greatest Britain? Well, most people, when you ask them, will name...
Who are they going to say?
Isambard Kingdom
Winston
Brunel.
Churchill.
Maybe.
That's who I'm thinking a lot of people would name as the greatest Briton.
Wasn't Isambard Kingdom Brunel like one of the top?
I think he would be, probably one of the go-to names for like an engineer.
Well, he was talking a lot about the Industrial Revolution.
Very true.
So that's why I was
very true. Very true.
We'll see.
Winston Churchill.
Winston
for
Churchill.
the obvious reason that he represented Britain defending freedom against the Nazis and uniting the country at a time of enormous challenge and threat. Personally, I would go back a little further and look for someone who's had an impact over centuries, an impact with language, and an impact with ideas. And that would be William Shakespeare.
Oh, wow.
User of the English language in perhaps the most effective way. Not only a man of enormous breadth and of enormous consistency of work, but a man who, in his own life, perhaps didn't gain the recognition that he has since.
Experts believe that William Shakespeare was born in Stratford-upon-Avon on or around 26th of April 1564, and after spending a lot of time in London, he died back in Stratford on the 23rd of April 1616. What a tremendous contribution he's made, not only to his native Britain, but to the English language and to theatre.
That's something we need to look into.
I know, I was just thinking that, like, I don't really have any experience with him. Everybody's heard of some of the plays and whatnot.
Well, and there have been so many movies redone based on his plays.
Right.
And books and things like that. But in school, we read a couple of his plays in like my British literature
Macbeth.
class. Othello, Romeo and Juliet, obviously. What's the other one? The Tempest, maybe? Was that him?
You're asking the wrong person. I have no idea.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Like, I've heard of a number of these, but I don't remember. Like, I think we covered some in school. School's been so long ago. I don't know, and I know we covered some, and I know a lot of schools do a lot of plays and things like that. He is obviously, I mean,
super popular.
Is there a more popular writer?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Drama and storytelling worldwide. Discovering the British. In this show, we've met historian Dr. Matt Cole. We've talked about the British sense of fair play in games and sport, the excellence of many great inventions and achievements like motor cars and steam engines, and the influence we've had on design and the part Britons have played in the Industrial Revolution, which began right here in the heart of Britain. With over 2,500 museums and art galleries, plus beautiful landscapes, historical towns and villages, there are so many ways in which we can all learn and have fun when discovering the British.
Wow. Guys, that was
fun.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was a good one.
I really enjoyed that. I wasn't exactly sure what we were going to be seeing, but I had a feeling it was cultural, stuff, culturally related, and obviously it was. I think this is something I'd like to continue looking at from time to time. I think we could learn a lot about British culture in general through this show, obviously.
Through this one, it just made me realize how much we've learned based on this channel,
Yeah.
Prior to starting this journey, all of this would have been absolutely new to me, and I wouldn't have known any of it pretty much, but because we've been doing this, I did know some of these things, and that was cool.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Every once in a while you get reminded by seeing things. You're like, oh, wow, I've learned a lot. But I also have a long way to go to really understand things.
Yeah, for
sure. Cultural stuff is very complex. And British society is definitely very, very complex.
One of the more complex.
I believe so. You have a very rich history and a lot of contributions to the modern world in general. But guys, really enjoyed this. Hope you did as well. I think we'll definitely check out more stuff like this in the future. But I think that's it for us today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journey. Until next time, peace.
Bye.